Understand as we talk foreign policy, and to us, as you know, terrorism is foreign policy, and the United States has an awful lot to have done to do with what has happened now that led to all this terrorism. But these last three bombings have just kind of said it all. We had it in Orlando, and then go to Istanbul and blow up the airport there, and then go to Bangladesh and then blow up a restaurant and kill people there. I understand that the president feels that you can't use the words Islamic terrorism because you don't want to get people angry and make them think that we're really picking on them. But the bottom line is, it's real. There is Islamic terrorism. We can't get away from it. This is all part of the Black Swan we started talking about 6 years ago, maybe even more, was going to come out of the foreign policy, and now here we are. Yet everybody wants to keep denying it when they hit Orlando. For some reason, a lot of people in the gay community wanted to sit around and say it was just an anti-gay move. I don't know why you wanted to separate yourself from the rest of America, those who felt that way, because it wasn't just an anti-gay move. It was an anti-American move, because in America, gays have rights and can live their lives and do what they want to do, basically in total freedom. I mean, there's always problems and basic prejudices, but that's where we are with that. So they wanted to hit America. Then they go to Turkey, and it's Allahu Akbar again, yelling, screaming. Everybody knows it's Islamic terrorism. They don't want to. The Islamic State doesn't want to take credit because Turkey has made a mistake of letting them come in and out, and all these different people being on the border of Syria, letting people come in and out of there, all the fighters, to try to keep everybody happy. That never works, as we know. You either fight them or you don't fight them, and they got handled. And then down in Bangladesh, they're yelling it, and then what does it say? It says, what did they say? They said that those people who lived, many of them had to recite parts of the Quran. If they knew those parts of the Quran, they weren't killed. If they didn't know those parts of the Quran, they were killed. You know, there are billions of people who believe the Muslim religion, and I say right on. You got the right to believe it and do it and whatever. The problem is you got thousands of people. That's not many. Talk percentages all you want to make it look like nothing, but you still have thousands and thousands of people who believe in the Muslim religion but look at it a little bit differently and use it as an excuse to kill. And it's just a really tough situation. We have to be upfront about it and deal with it and say this is what we're dealing with, and not worry about getting others who believe in the great majority of good people in the Muslim religion getting angry. We can't worry about that. Because the Muslims, those crazy Muslims, the extremists will kill other Muslims, even though in this situation they didn't in Bangladesh. Here they will. In America and other places, they don't care. They'll just kill anybody. So really, there should be the world against this terrorism, this old Islamic religious belief that people use. I don't hear excuses. These excuses about young people and this and that and shiftless. Come on. These are people who really believe. They believe because they see something that they want to fight for and die for. And we have to accept it and go with it. And it's unfortunate it's Muslim, but luckily it isn't every other religion out there right now, because then we'd have a whole lot more terrorists to deal with. So at least here in America, it's been just lone wolves who get online and learn about this stuff and use it as an excuse to kill. And because the Americans who practice the Muslim religion here are good Americans and love America, and why not? I mean, here you can live and be a Muslim and believe what you want, and First Amendment gives you that right. So it's basically all great people, but it's this small group that we got to deal with, because this small group kills thousands and thousands of others. It adds up over the years. If you've added it up, we're in the thousands. And it's really, a lot of it's our fault, because once again, it's a failure of the Obama administration's foreign policy. The Bush foreign policy going into Iraq was wrong, and it let a lot of demons loose, but they were at least getting it back with the surge and trying to get it under control. But the Obama policy of being partially in and partially out, I've heard us talk about this a million times, just doesn't work. You either had to go all the way in and take them out, or you stay all the way out. But this being partially in and denying that you're in and denying that you got troops in there is only leading to more trouble, more people dying and nothing working. It's like taking a little step in a puddle and suddenly there are little puddles everywhere else. And that's what's going on. And the ISIS, Daesh, ISIL, whatever you want to call it, or whatever they are, they're going to see is going to be just as happy not having incredible amounts of land to defend, because it's going to be a whole lot easier to be in little places and then be able to fan out and kill others. This is not good. This is not good. And then, of course, we see the Muslim terrorists coming out of Chechnya and the original USSR areas, but that's of course a symptom of our friend Vladimir Putin, who does nothing but kill his own enemies and kill them and kill them and kill them, and then of course puts a strong man in charge of Chechnya and kills people. So the Muslims there get angry and just start reaching out and killing again. It's just a problem, and it's a really bad problem, and we're either going to deal with it or we're not, and we're going to quit making excuses about it or we're not. Okay, it's just like those Congress people who sat on the floor to try to get involved in gun control and did nothing except have a little sit-in. They might as well play some music while they're at it, just have a good time. All this talking does nothing. We have to have action, and this is going to lead to a real problem for the new president. I know we sound like a broken record, but you either get in all the way or you get out all the way. It's not going to work. And what's happening now is it's getting worse and worse. 3 bombings in a row, another one in Iraq. That's always going to happen. It's not stopping. It's only going to keep getting worse until we meet this head on. Peace.